Now we can.
Alright, so today I will be teaching you a how-to on swinging the golf club. Now I feel this is necessary because golf is a game you can play your entire life. I work at a golf course here and there's 80, 90-year-olds that are still playing golf. So if you like it, you can play it for as long as you want. And also I feel golf is a good sport to be able to play because in the business world a lot of deals are done on golf courses and basically almost everyone in the business world golfs. So we're just going to give you basic kind of step-by-step instructions, so hopefully you can go and at least hit the ball. I mean, I can't give you lessons to hit it 130 yards right the first time you hit it. I mean, I'm not that good, but I mean, I'm going to give you basic lessons as simple as I can put it, so try to keep up. We're going to start with the grip. So the first thing you want to do is how you put your hands on the club, and there's 1,000 different ways to grip the club. Everyone on tour grips it differently. You have your baseball grip, which is your two hands, your interlock grip, overlock. I just want you to feel comfortable. That's what I tell people, just how you grip the club comfortably. So I like to interlock, so I'm going to interlock the grip. That's how I grip it. And then this is the first step. We're just going to set up the club. So you want to put the club down so it's right behind the ball. And we want the club face to be perpendicular to your target line. When I say that, I mean if you're aiming down there at the green, I want that line from the green to be able to be drawn back perpendicular with your club, so it's straight pointing at where you're trying to go. From there, you're just going to set up with your grip, and you're going to get in an athletic stance. Now, sometimes people ask how far away should I be. I like to tell them to get athletic stance and just let your arms hang. And from there, that's where you should I'll get this in. From there, that's where you should grip the club. So right in there. So you have your stance all set up, your grip, and you want to get this triangle showing with your hands. So that's kind of where you want to start. So if someone's with you when you're trying this, have them just look to make sure you have a triangle formed with your shoulders. All right, so that's step one. Step two is the first 3 feet of the takeaway, which is pretty simple, but if you do it wrong, can totally affect you. So we don't want any hands moving right away. We want the swing to start with your shoulders. So you want to keep this triangle and just swing it back the first 3 feet. So from here, you're still in your athletic stance, weight on your back hip, and you're just going to, first 3 feet right there. Now the club face, it's not opening or any of that, it's staying square to your target line, which means it's still pointing right at the ball. So that's step two. Step three is getting the club parallel to the ground. So from here, all I did was get to step two, and you can go through these as slow as you want to try to get checkpoints when you're trying this. You get to step two, and then step three is the club parallel to the ground. Now with this, the toe of your club, which is the top of it, should be pointed to the sky, as I like to tell people, and your front arm, for me it's I'm left-handed, so it'll look weird, but your front arm, my right arm, will start to overlap your left arm if you're looking straight on as you are here. So you're just coming straight to right here. Your club should still be in front of you, and it's kind of a slow takeaway to this point, so you don't want to get too quick up to here. Okay, so step four is getting your arm parallel to the ground. Which is, these steps are going to sound pretty confusing, but if you just try it out, I'm certain it'll feel comfortable. Straight arm, parallel to the ground, and you want your club to almost make a 90-degree angle right here. And you want your club face up here, doesn't matter, don't worry about that. I know you can't really see, but the biggest thing is just getting your wrists broken, so your arms, so the club should be above your hands, basically. Okay, so then we're going to get to step five, which is completing the backswing. At this point, your front knee should be buckled in a little bit, and your weight should be on your back leg. And you want to do a full turn for you. Now when I say that, I work with anywhere from little kids to elderly, and I tell them as far as they can take it back. You don't want to take it back to where you're all the way in pain. No pain should be caused by the golf swing. So if you can only take it back to here, perfect. If you are more flexible and you can get it all the way back, that's even better. But you just want to get your hands above your shoulders and the club behind your head. At this point, your hips should be fully turned away from the ball, and you should be ready to start your downswing. Now the takeaway is just a fluid motion, all right? So in real time, it would be just like that. It's not a quick move or anything like that. The slower, the better. You want to be deliberate with it. So now we start the downswing, which I'll show it from this angle, it'll be easier. I like to tell people to just drop the club in the slot, and what I mean by that is your hands are going to drop a little as you fire your hips towards the ball. Okay, so you get to here, hands drop, and your hips are just going to fire towards the ball. And when your hips are firing, it means that the club is going to lag behind because your hips are out in front. And that lag of the club is what's going to create the club head speed to get the ball to go out further. So as you go through this and you get more advanced with it, the more lag you have with your club is the faster you're going to whip it through the impact area, which we're going to do next. So the most important part of the swing is impact. You look on, I don't know how many of you watch PGA Tour, they all have different swings, but everybody's impact position is the exact same, and it's all repeatable, which is why they do what they do for so long. So impact is what we work on this a lot, is just getting to this point right here. So you want, it's tough with the club I have to see, but you want a relatively straight line from the top of your shoulder to the bottom of the club, straight down the shaft of the club, and you want this, your back knee, your right or left depending on, your back knee to be buckled in as your weight is transferring through the swing. So the impact, the club is hitting the ball basically is what we're getting at. And a lot of misconception is you try to lift up the ball to get it up in the air. That's not true at all. Actually, you want to hit down on the ball in order to get it up in the air. I know that doesn't sound like it should be correct, but it is. So the impact, your club should be hitting down on the ball, and then through impact, which is the next step. Through impact is when your club is still just getting, and I like to tell people to just let the club take them up to their follow through. So your weight's already through, and you're just going to let your weight sit on your front leg and just get up to your follow through position with your stomach pointing at your target. Now with this, it's again personal preference. There's no perfect way to finish a swing. A lot of people stop short, full completion. It's just whatever feels comfortable. So I like to tell people to just go and let the club go where it goes. I mean, the follow through does not matter how, if you're good, you have a certain follow through, none of that. So those are the basic steps of the golf swing. And with that, there's 1,000 different teaching methods on the golf swing. I mean, if you go to a local pro, they'll tell you 1,000 different things, but those are the basics that I can teach and that I will teach to whoever wants. I mean, I could go into more detail with you guys, but the video is not supposed to be an hour long, which I could get into, and I'll end up confusing almost all of you. So those are the basic steps of it, and I hope with that you would be able to go and just make contact. And I mean, the purpose of this video for me is to help, I mean, even if one person watching this goes and tries to pick up golf, now that they know how the swing works, because it can look very confusing. And so if one person goes and tries it and maybe finds out that, hey, they like golf, that's enough for me to do this video. The fact that we could get maybe one person more playing the game is enough. That's all we're trying to do, is grow the game. And so in closing, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to do the different swings. So you may say this is an iron, so you might think it's a different swing for driver. Completely same swing, only difference is ball position. With a driver, you want it off your front foot here, and you want your weight a little further back. Other than that, same swing. So if you need to go through this video again with your driver, go ahead. Wedges, it's going to be the same exact swing as an iron, except you're only going to go back to a certain point depending on how far you want to hit it. They go up to here, and they know exactly how far that'll go. It's called distance control. That's a more advanced thing, but I don't know, I mean, what your skill level is watching this video. But a wedge, you want to get to where you know how far each shot will go depending on how far you take it back. So I hope this helps you in your golfing game. If you don't have a golfing game, I hope you start now that you've seen this video. That's all I'm really trying to do, is help anybody learn the game. If you have any questions, I mean, feel free to contact me. I would gladly help anybody. I love doing this. So thank you.